Dear students, welcome to the science class. In the last class, we were discussing about the nutrition in animals, and we are also discussing about the digestion in the human beings. Right? How does the digestion in human beings is going to occur, and which are the various components which are going to help us in the digestion of the food. So that we already discussed about the component that is nothing but buccal cavity. In the last class we discussed about the buccal cavity, how does teeth, tongue as well as saliva are going to help in the digestion of the food. As well as in the last class we discussed about the esophagus, that is nothing but the food pipe, as well as discussed about the stomach. What is going to happen in the stomach, how it is going to help in the digestion of the food. In the same manner we discussed about the some juices which is secreted by the stomach. Those juices are nothing but, first one is hydrochloric acid which is going to kill the germs. Second one is mucus which is going to protect the inner lining of the stomach from what? From the hydrochloric acid. In the same manner we also discussed about the digestive juices which are produced or which are secreted by the inner lining of the stomach, which is going to convert or which is going to break down the proteins into the smaller form, simpler form. Proteins into the simpler form. Now in today's class we are going to discuss about the digestion in the small intestine. Digestion in the small intestine. So where does the small intestine is present? Small intestine is present below the stomach, and it is a highly coiled structure. It is a highly coiled structure. It is present below the stomach, and it is a highly coiled structure, and its length is about 7.5 meters. Its length is about 7.5 meters. So if you take the example here, if the stomach is present like this here, like this, and it is connected to this small intestine which is highly coiled structure, which is highly coiled structure. Like this, it is present here. Right, its length is about how much? It is about 7.5 meters. So the length of the small intestine is about 7.5 meters, and it is highly coiled structure. Highly coiled structure. So for the highly coiled structure, this pipette structure, for the purpose of the digestion in this small intestine, it is going to get the juices which are secreted by the other glands which are present in our body. So then it is going to get the juices from the liver. It is going to get the juice from the liver, as well as it is going to get the juice from the pancreas for the purpose of the secretion, for the purpose of the digestion of the food inside the small intestine. If you take the example like this, this will be the small intestine. This will be the small intestine. Above which here, at this position, there will be the presence of the pancreas. There will be the presence of the pancreas. And exactly right side of the stomach, at exactly right side of the stomach, there is a presence of reddish brown gland. There is a presence of reddish brown gland on the right side of the abdomen, of the upper portion, and its right side of the stomach. That gland is nothing but that is liver. It is reddish brown in color. It is reddish brown in color, which is present exactly at the right hand side of the stomach, and it will have a sac-like structure, upon which it has a sac-like structure, that is nothing but bile duct. going to secrete juice known as bile juice. So that the bile juice is going to come to the small intestine. It is going to come to the small intestine, and the bile juice is going to help in the digestion of the fats. It is going to help in the digestion of the fat. The bile juice is coming from the bile duct. That nothing but bile juice helps to digest the fats. Digest the fats. Digest the fats. Which are interlinked here. From here, it is going to connect it to this duodenum to the small intestine. From here, pancreas is also connected to the small intestine. Those juices are utilized for the purpose of the digestion in the small intestine. Right. So bile juice is going to help in the digestion of the fat, which is present in the liver side of the bile duct. Now, next in the small intestine, what is going to happen? In the small intestine, the lower small intestinal juices at the lower portion of the small intestine, the small intestine is also going to secrete some juices. Those juices are going to make the food completely digested. That is nothing but they are going to break down the food particles into the simpler form. For example, if there is a presence of the carbohydrate, carbohydrate is going to get converted into glucose by the intestinal juices which are present in the small intestine. In the same manner, the proteins are going to convert it into the amino acids. Proteins are going to convert it into the amino acids, and fats are going to convert it into the fatty acid or glycerol. Fatty acid or glycerol. Where it is happening? It is happening in the small intestine. So, in small intestine, by the small intestinal juices, by the help of the pancreatic juices and the bile juices, right? They are going to convert the carbohydrates in presence of intestinal juices, right? Are going to get break down into simpler form. That nothing but carbohydrate into the glucose, and proteins to the amino acids. Proteins into the amino acids and fatty acids, fats into the fatty acids. And glycerol. So this type of conversion or breakdown of the food particles which is happening in the small intestine by the intestinal juices. So if you check all the nutrients or components here, all are converting into the simpler forms. And they are going to absorb in the small intestine only by the blood capillaries. For that reason, the small intestine is known as the complete site of digestion in human beings. So the complete site of the digestion in human beings is what? It is the small intestine. Why? Because all the food particles, all the components of the food are getting converted into the simpler form in small intestine only, as well as they are going to absorb by the blood capillaries in the small intestine. For that reason, small intestine is known as what? It is known as the site of complete digestion. It is known as site of complete digestion. So that small intestine is digestion. It is the site of complete digestion. I hope this is clear. Everything about the small intestine, that is nothing but how it is going to convert the carbohydrate, proteins and lipids, that is nothing but fat into its simpler form by using the liver and pancreas, the pancreatic juices. So it is all about the small intestine. Next we are going to discuss how actually the absorption of that food particles are going to happen in our bloodstream in the small intestine. So which component, which organ, which part of the body is helping in the absorption of those things. So we are going to discuss that now in next. Now we are going to discuss that too. Now next we are going to see about the absorption. Right, already discussed that all the food particles are converted into the simpler form, so that in the bloodstream they can be carried to the all the body organs. So how does actually it is happening? By which process? Where does it is happening? So it is happening in the small intestine itself. It is happening in the small intestine itself by the process of named as absorption. By the process named as the absorption. So what is the absorption? Absorption is the process that is nothing but it is the passage of the digested food into the blood vessels in the wall of the intestine is known as absorption. Is known as absorption. So whatever the food particles which are converted into the simpler form. So if we take the example of the carbohydrate which is converted into the glucose, protein which is converted into the amino acids, in the same manner fats which are converted into the fatty acids and cholesterol. So all those things which are required by our body, so those things should be carried throughout the body. How it is going to be carried? They are going to carry by the blood. So whatever the food items which are converted into the simpler form should be get dissolved in the blood, and they should be passed into the blood, so that the absorption of those materials or those food components is nothing but it is the process named as the absorption. Right. So how does it actually is happening? Right. If you take the small intestine, the inner lining of the small intestine, it has some finger-like structures. It has some finger-like structures. You can see closely see the inner walls of the small intestine. It has a finger-like structure like this. The inner wall of the small intestine has this finger-like structures like this. Right. Those finger-like structures are nothing but these are the villi. They are named as villi. If you want to take the singular form, it is villus, and together they are known as villi. So those are the finger-like structures which are present inside the inner lining of the small intestine. So these villi, they have some blood vessels inside them. So each of the villi have the blood vessels like this inside them. Each and every villi has the blood vessels or blood capillaries inside them. So these villi are going to help in the absorption of the food particles into the bloodstream where the blood capillaries are present. Where the blood capillaries are present, these villi are going to take out the food particles like this. They are going to absorb the food particles like this. Those food particles are going to get inside the blood capillaries where the blood is present, so that the absorption is actually happening into the blood capillaries via villi. So in this manner the absorption is going to happen, and the finger-like structures of the villi are going to increase the surface area. They are actually increasing the surface area of those things. Because of the increment in the surface area, they are actually making the amount of absorption high. blood, and that blood is going to carry throughout our body, so that it is going to carry the food particles for the each and every organ, where those organs are going to utilize their food particles for the production of the energy. So this is about the absorption. This is about the absorption, and next we are going to see about the assimilation. What is the assimilation? Assimilation is nothing but utilization of those food particles which are absorbed in the bloodstream. So assimilation is nothing but it is the absorbed substances are transported to the different organs, where they are used to build complex substances like proteins which are required by our body. Now, whatever food particles which are absorbed by this villi, these finger-like structures, those particles which are transferred or which are carried by the blood capillaries, these blood capillaries, in that blood, this food is going to carry throughout our organs, carry throughout our body. For each and every organ, the requirement of the food is there, and each and every organ, all the blood is going to go carrying the food particles. So those digested food particles are utilized for the building of the complex substances like protein for the requirement of the body. So that for the growth of our body we require proteins. Those can be converted by the absorbed digested food which is absorbed, and it can be utilized by our body. That thing is nothing but what? It is known as assimilation. It is known as assimilation. So that assimilation is nothing but it is absorbed substances are transported to different organs, where they are used to build complex substances like proteins which are required by our body. Each and every body organ requires energy. That means for each and every organ there will be supply of the glucose. For that reason, in the small intestine itself, the food particles are getting absorbed. For this reason also the small intestine is known as what? It is known as complete site of the digestion. It is known as complete site of the digestion. Now, what will happen to the carbohydrates, protein, as well as fat when they are assimilated? When they are assimilated, what is going to happen to those things? So that if you take the example of the carbohydrate, that is in the form of the glucose, that glucose after the assimilation, after the respiration, is going to convert it into the carbon dioxide, water, and energy. So for that purpose, we are going to eat the carbohydrates. It is going to convert it into the carbon dioxide, water, as well as energy in the different organs. So if you take the example here, there is nothing but carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is in the form of the glucose. It is in the form of the glucose. It is getting converted into the carbon dioxide. Water, and energy. Again, we are going to leave the carbon dioxide outside. We are going to utilize the energy, and there will be sweating, and there will be peeing. That is nothing but water. So, like this, the food particles are getting assimilated, and like this, they are going to produce the energy. Right? In the same manner, this is going to happen in this cell. It is going to happen in the cells which are present in our body. So, the undigested food which is remains in the small intestine is going to carry it to the large intestine. So, there again the digestion is going to happen. Again, there will be the digestion is going to happen. After that large intestine, it is going to pass through the anus and going out away. It is going away from the our body through the anus. I hope this is clear about the small intestine and absorption as well as assimilation. The last part of the digestion in human being is the large intestine. So in the small intestine, complete digestion occurs. The remaining particles which are undigested than the small intestine. Less than the small intestine. So its length is about 1.5 meters. Its length is about 1.5 meters, whereas small intestine has the length of 7.5 meters. So on the undigested food, which nothing but lot amount of waste only, in that waste in the large intestine is going to absorb the excess water as well as the salt which are present in the undigested food. Right? The excess water, the water which is required by our body as well as the salt which is present in the undigested food is going to absorb by the what? It is going to absorb by the large intestine. So it remains with the waste material, that is nothing but feces. That is nothing but feces, or we can call it as poo. So that which is going to store in the rectum as a semi-solid pieces. It is going to store in the form of semi-solid pieces. After some time, that semi-solid pieces become solidified and it is going to go out from our body via anus. So that we are completely clearing our waste via anus and we are absorbing all the essential particles which are required by our body in the small as well as large intestine. So in the large intestine, the excess water and salts are absorbed. Excess water and salt are absorbed from the waste from the undigested food. And now if everything is absorbed, what is remained there? Remains what? Waste only. So this waste in this case is known as feces. Right. So that these pieces in the form of semi-solid form. Right, in the form of semi-solid is going to store in the rectum. So the rectum stores semi-solid pieces. That is nothing but waste in the form of the semi-solid. After storing it, after some time, these pieces is thrown out. These pieces is thrown out via anus. Right, whatever the waste material which is present in the form of semi-solid, it is going to thrown out by the via anus. So this procedure is going to continue for interval of time, which is going to happen in an interval of time for 3 to 4 hours or maybe 12 hours. It depends on those things. So that the whatever the waste material which is present is going to go out via anus. So here your digestive in human beings is complete. So I hope everything is clear about the digestion in human being, which is going to start from the right hand and it is going to end from the left hand. That is nothing but which is going to start from the mouth and it is going to end from the anus in the form of the feces. We are going to take it as form of the food. I hope this is clear. So if you want to take the summary here, the food particles first are cut in the use of the mouth by the use of the teeth. Their tongue is going to help in the mixing of those food particles. Saliva is going to convert the carbohydrates into the simpler form. Then that food particles are going to pass through the esophagus to the stomach. In that stomach, the bacteria are killed by the hydrochloric acid and mucus is going to protect our stomach from the acid. In the same manner, the digestive juices which are present in the stomach are helping in the digestion of the protein. Next, that food particles are going to carry to the small intestine, where it is going to utilize the juices which are coming from It is going to digest the food completely. That is nothing but it is going to convert the carbohydrates into the glucose, proteins into the amino acids, and fats into the fatty acid as well as cholesterol. All those things are absorbed by the villi which are present inside the small intestine and the inner lining of those things. So those villi contains the blood capillaries. Those blood capillaries are going to our blood capillaries or blood vessels are absorbing the food particles via villi, so that those finger-like structures of villi are going to increase the surface area. There the absorbed food is going to transfer to the all the body organs, where there another process known as assimilation occurs. That assimilation is nothing but utilization of the food particles to produce complex products or complex substances like proteins for the purpose of our body. So those things are getting converted into the carbon dioxide. For example, carbohydrates are getting converted into the carbon dioxide, water as well as energy. At last, the undigested food which is present in the small intestine is going to pass to the large intestine. In the large intestine, undigested food, from the undigested food, water and as well as salts are going to get absorbed and it will remain with the waste. That waste is nothing but what? It is the pieces. That pieces will be present in the semi-solid form and it will be stored in the rectum. After some time, that can be thrown away by the anus. And here your digestion in human beings is complete. In the next class, we are going to see the further concept. Up to that point,